good to be here in Dubai. And today's presentation will talk about the future, which actually is here today, of how you can manage your company. And it will build on Michael's presentation, and it will also build on Peter's presentations today. So we're going to show a version of Business Integrated GRC, or GRC 6.0. But before I start off with my presentation, I'd like to share a story with you. And this is a nice aquarium. And this happened actually in a company some years ago. They had a nice aquarium in the reception. And it's beautiful to look at. The fishes, they were swimming, and it was just so peaceful. But all of a sudden, something really bad happened in this organization, in this company. Thieves entered in, and all of a sudden they stole the most valuable that this company had, which was the company database of the customers. So the customer database of 10 gigabytes were actually stolen. How do you think the database was stolen? Any suggestions? Yeah, information security. So what actually happened here is that this aquarium had a temperature sensor. And that temperature sensor was connected to the Wi-Fi, to the company's intranet. And the thieves came, people will laugh at me now, but they came from the sky. They entered into the aquarium in the reception, to the temperature sensor, came into the network, pulled out the data, up through the sensor, the temperature sensor, and up in the sky, and 10 gigabytes of customer data were sent to Finland. That's where the thieves are. No, I'm kidding. They are not there. I'm from Norway. But why am I telling this story? In 2025, it's projected that there will be 75 billion doors like this for thieves to enter. So this is just an awakening kind of thing for you guys to think of, do I have these doors? And how am I protected when it comes to cybersecurity? So today is about GPRC and what is GPRC. So GPRC is a framework for governance, managing and assuring your company's performance, risk and compliance. That's the acronym GPRC. And you've heard today about the three line of defense. We have made our own matrix for this. It's called a GPRC matrix. You have the three pillars here. You have the first pillar, it's the performance. This is where most GRC vendors are missing out. They are not including the performance side of this. Then you have the risk pillar, and the last one is the compliance pillar. And what we say is that every organization should govern the performance, risk, and compliance. That's the second line. Or manage the performance, risk, and compliance, and make sure you have assurance of the performance, risk, and compliance. And as you see here, govern performance, that is putting the strategic direction in the company. Talking about ambition level, targets, where are we going as a company? When you govern the risk, it's about your risk strategy. It's about your risk appetite. You cannot remove all the risks, but you can make sure that you actually make a decision, is this within the tolerance level or not? And compliance, when you govern compliance, it's about policies, procedures, and how you actually operate and run your company. And of course, manage, it's the first line, it's the frontline workers, it's the operational managers that are facing and making sure that our company performs, that we handle our risks, and that we actually live up to our compliance standards. And the last one here, assurance. It's where you have the auditors, the assurance functions, the controls put in place. So why is GPRC important? I think we have heard a lot today why it's important. Let me give you some statistics. So poor strategy implementation represent a value loss of 40 to 60%. That means that every company, your company, if you're an average company, can do more than increase the value 40 to 60% if you did everything correct. And research from Harvard Business School also shows that 9 out of 10 fails to execute strategy. They might have good strategies, but they are not effectively implementing and executing them. One of the reasons is that people don't know what the company strategy is. 90% have no clue about what's my company strategy and what does that mean for me. That is put in place to implement the strategy. 60% of organizations don't link the resources, the budgets, to the strategy. So the strategy is just a document that says we should do blah, 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 but there is no funding behind this. There is no real kind of money or resources to do what we say we should do. And critical risks are also happening very frequently. So this is a study that shows that 62% of organizations have experienced critical risk event during the past 3 years. That means that most of you guys have experienced a critical risk event during the last 3 years. And and as Michael said, regulations are coming, it's hitting you. This is from an American study. I think this is a regulatory agency issued 200 regulatory updates every day. In the finance industry, it was 255 or 257. So we just have to comply with the regulations that are out there. So have control over this is crucial for a company. But how do we address these challenges? Well, typically, organization will just say, we need a new department. We need more people, That's the typical way of thinking, how we should address these challenges. So let's put a performance department, compliance department, new risk departments, audit departments, corporate social responsibility departments. That's the traditional way that we will kind of handle these issues. But this will just lead us, nowhere. It's still organizational silos. They work in silos. And if you work in silos, you don't share the common goals. You don't share the strategy together. You work isolated and not as a collaborative effort. So this gives a lack of visibility. Michael also talked about how COVID actually was impacting the whole business. It was not just a health risk, but it actually impacted everybody. So, and it's also a lot of duplication of efforts. And departments are making their own decisions, pulling their own directions. So this is not the way to do it. So what is the way to do it then? Well, it's definitely not putting up a GPRC mega department. So now you have heard about GPRC, and you think we need to go back and make a GPRC mega department. That's not the way either. GPRC is a way to work where actually GPRC is an integrated part of your business. It's actually because risks is happening in the business. So what we say is that build it on a common business management platform where all the management disciplines share the same information, shared goals, vision, processes, terminology. And if I can say it in the marketing jargon, and I really mean it, the right people get the right information at the right time. That's what you will have with orchestrating a platform like this, and of course have people, as a part of this, and have the right processes in place. So how to get started with GPRC? So now we are in the diamond ballroom, and I'm actually going to use a diamond as an analogy to this. It starts with you and your organization, and what I'm saying is that think of your organization as a diamond. It's beautiful, it's rare, it's valuable. Everybody is special. Every one organization is special, and it's unique. And you strive to shine in your industry. To keep the diamond valuable and shining, you must know how to take care of it. And here is where the digital twin comes into play. So what we are talking about is actually your organization creating a digital twin of your organization. It's a digital representation. As Peter was also talking about today, the digital twin. We have digital twin of our humans. We have digital twin of our cars. But we can also have digital twin of our organization, how it's weaved together, what we are doing, and how it's actually organized and function, and so on. So a digital twin here is a virtual representation of your organization. And it enables you to holistically govern, manage, and assure the various departments that you have, like risk, performance, compliance, operations, projects, quality, finance, IT, etc. And then we heard about we need a common language. So where is the language coming in? Well, this is the strategy. The strategy tells and unites all of these business functions. Because I'm not in the IT department to do IT. No, I'm in the IT department to execute and fulfill our strategy and make sure that our company is moving towards the goals that is in the strategy. The same with risk managers. They are here to ensure that we are reaching the strategic goals and that our company is actually moving towards that goal. So I would say strategy is the backbone. And if you ask me where to start with your strategy. Define your strategy. And then connect all the dots here, and then put up the data information so everybody has a common language, as Peter was talking about today, and prioritization, and the same processes, prioritization and terminology. So this is more efficient, it's easier to communicate, and it also fosters a collaboration culture. But how does a digital twin look like in the front end? So a digital twin on the front end provides a seamless, modern, and unique user experience for the whole organization. And as the organization evolves, you can also evolve the digital twin and include new areas. For example, like business continuity, cybersecurity, audit function, data governance. You can just connect all these departments so you are working around the same story. So now I'm going to show a demo of the buy plan 2021, the previous plan, and just how you can navigate and how a digital twin looks like, and how you can integrate risk management, compliance management, performance, and all these areas. So let's go in here to buy plan 2021, and you have the teams here, the 6 teams, and I'm going to go into one of the teams here called The Place, a smart and sustainable city. And here you can see the place. You have the aims here, and you also have the KPIs that shows the performance. So here you see the plan, the vision, the teams, the aims, and the performance is all connecting. And I can also go into the contributing entities and think of this. How are we fulfilling this as an organization or as a nation? How are we fulfilling the buy plan? Well, here you can see the different departments or ministries or organizations, how they are actually impacting and are a part of fulfilling. So you see here, you connect the various departments, the various ministries, the various organizational units around the strategy and the aims here. Let's go ahead and go into the aims. Here you can see, here is aim A, smart and integrated connected city. I have the projects here, and I can go into one of the projects. And you see here the project. This is the Expo 2020 metro expansion. You see the cost here, you see the plan, you see the how the project is progressing, and you can have the project details. You can go from the project details further into the project risks. And here you see the project register. You have also the mitigating actions. So how are you bringing the risks, in a acceptable manner or acceptable level? Further on, I can go into the KPI. Here is one from one unit. It's passenger satisfaction rate on existing public transportation. And then I can follow and just see the satisfaction rate, how it's increasing over time. And so what you've seen now is actually what I've been through and just shown you a small piece of the digital twin of the Dubai plan. It's actually the strategy management, the vision that was in the plan, the aims, the teams, the aims, and how that was connected to project and portfolio management, how the projects were in there. In one of the projects, I showed you the project risk. So here I'm connecting the risk to the project to the strategy. The project has also a performance side and a KPI side. And then I could go on and connect all the various enterprise risk frameworks, whether it's third-party risk management, operational resilience, business continuity, IT risk, cybersecurity risk, etc. And I could also do the same with the compliance framework. The nice thing about this future GPRC or business integrated GRC, as Michael is talking about, is that it's all connected and it's all orchestrated in a business management platform. And this is where corporate business management platform comes into play. So with this, I'll just like to say that Gartner also have, analytics or analysis on this. We are listed as a representative vendor in the Gartner digital twin of an organization. We're also in the Gartner strategic CPM quadrant when it comes to the Magic Quadrant, and we are also listed in Gartner IRM. So I think we are the only company that are listed in all these three research area combined. So many people ask, what is this performance risk? What is the linkage? And I'm going to simplify it a bit for you guys. You have heard a lot of new words today. Some would call it buzzwords. But I'm going to talk a bit about performance and strategy. Performance and risk, I mean. So to me, performance focus is about maximizing creating value. Some would say in the risk domain, they would say opportunities and so on. It's also in there. Well, risk is about minimizing losing value, So you have a plus side, creating value. The risk focus is about minimizing losing value. And if you like to say it's also about opportunity, okay, put it in the performance focus. But this is the result of this. So there is a plus side and there is a minus side. What factors impact business, the success of a business? We have heard today about internal and external factors. And here we have listed up some internal and external factors: services, assets, systems, people, environment, project, etc. And for all of these factors, you can either lose value or you can maximize value. So if I just put it up like this, I have vendors on top here. Your vendors, they can be strategic. You can use them strategically, have strategic vendor relations, collaborate with your vendors, develop things with your vendors. So your vendors can be a strategic asset. At the same time, vendors could be third-party risk management. They don't deliver, they go bankrupt, they fail with the quality, etc. So the same factor can have a plus side and a minus side. And this is actually what we do in the GPRC world here, minimizing the losing value, maximizing the creating of value, and how to best manage these factors to ensure you maximize value and to ensure you don't lose value. With that, you need a framework. And the framework we recommend is to build a digital twin using the GPRC framework, taking the risk side and the strategy and performance side. And we recommend that you use technology like Corporator for this. Why? Diamond. Because your company is a diamond. Thank you.